You didn't look very comfortable sleeping on the couch, all hunched up like that.
It would have been enough for something temporary.
What a gentleman!
Sorry I stole your bed.
Hey, it doesn't matter. Besides, what kind of gentleman would I be if I leave a lady sleeping in such uncomfortable conditions? Not in this house. My nana will give me a tough scolding if I ever did that, I'm telling you.
I'm telling you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. I know I barged in at a very inconvenient time last night. I wasn't really thinking when I did, and...
Hey, it's cool, Bella. I ain't mad at you. That's what friends do. You guys are welcome here anytime.
Aww.
Although Ashton abuses the anytime part a lot, I don't really mind. We might have less wiggle room if all four of us are present, considering the size of this place. But as long as no one makes anything explode, it's totally fine.
Totally fine.
Fine or not, I still owe you one for last night's trouble, especially since you don't seem to be...
A concerned expression passes over her features as she spares another cursory glance over the table back to the bottle holding every small piece of what keeps the bad memories at bay. The blood blooming over Pa's her, the horrified look on Ma's face, and as she watches him fall lifeless to the ground, and every ounce of spite seeping from the stranger's smile. Oh, that's what the pills are for. So Zach's parents were killed, murdered. Now he has to take pills and not freak out. Alright. You don't belong here. You monkeys don't belong here. It never stopped, doesn't it?
Well, you don't seem to be feeling well. Let me know, okay? I'll make it up to you somehow.
She makes a slight gesture with her head towards the bottle, asking a question without really asking. Subtlety has never been one of her greatest assets, but right now, even Hash would have been a little amazed, if not a loss for words at that. She has left it up to me whether I'll ever give her the response she wants to hear or not. A little clever coming from her, if anyone would ask me. Yeah, she's a good friend, so let's just tell her the truth. But it's never easy, ain't it? Talking about my own problems, that is, will never be, not by a long shot. Not when I've let it stay this way for so long. I realized that long ago, when the wounds are still fresh and the dreams are nightly occurrence, can't force yourself to get better or move on to better things. It is what's normal now, and I can only cope. The question in her eyes may be unwarranted, born simply out of curiosity and sincere concern for a friend. I don't owe her an explanation, in fact, but of all the people I keep close in my life, she's probably one of the very few perhaps I can trust with this. Maybe she won't understand entirely. I can never hope she will. No, never to the full extent. That alone is expecting too much of her and giving too much of what I can. However, for all her shortcomings, I know she'll hear me out. And that is all I can ask of her. And also, if we open up to her, maybe she's gonna open up to us and tell us about what happened to her.
My bad. I was kinda hoping you wouldn't have seen me with these.
The pills rather lightly against the container when I gently set it back to its usual place. Always a small area closest to my laptop near the right hand, within reach whenever, and a quiet reminder of what I should not miss every day.
What? Oh, is it bad? I was just thinking that maybe it's a cold like Becca's. Do you need me to get anything from the store? Soup or something? There's one nearby, right?
Oh.
I can run real quick and...
No, nothing of that sort. I'm perfectly healthy right now. It's really difficult to say, but can you promise me you'll listen at least?
What is this about, Zach?
I should have been upfront with you about this a long time ago. Well, Ashton found out without me telling him anything. But you already know how that guy is. Can't hide anything from him.
If it's something you're having trouble saying, you don't have to force yourself to tell me. I'll forget I ever saw anything and won't ask questions. Promise.
No, I need to get this off my chest eventually. Besides, we're already here. Might as well finish what I started, yeah?
And there's no shame about that also. It's not like he did something wrong. Just something that happened to him and which was a bad thing, I guess.
If you say so.
She takes a seat on the couch, her posture easy and open, and a smile honest. This is just a simple talk between true friends on a regular day. It is far from one, but her unreserved hair is enough to stamp down the twinge of unease that threatens to come up.
Let's hear it then.
And she does. Achievement unlocked feels like yesterday. True to her words, she listens while the story spills out of my mouth, of my ma and pa, that little whole dinner across the pond and what it left in me that day. I can't recall most of it now, my own account jagged with a few missing details here and there. The passing years have eroded most of my recollection of the whole incident. All except for that one moment in the kitchen. The ringing of the gunshots are as vivid as it sounded that day. Even Mal's hysterical screams the moment Pa's body hits the floor motionless, his lifeblood flowing out from under him. And the gunman? He was smiling. He was smiling when Pa opened the door to welcome him. He was smiling when he put a bullet to Pa's chest and Mal's head. Aw, damn. I have heard stories of how the world can be a cruel place for people like us before. I never believed until that moment. And I bet that the gunman was probably just someone who was racist. Because we can't forget that Zachary is black.
Nan and Gran took us right after that. Sis and I flew straight to New Jersey as soon as they heard the news. A few days after, Ma and Pa were laid to rest. And we have a new home a continent away. I didn't even get the chance to take my favorite pillow with me. They said something about the change of environment will be good for us.
This is so sad.
They had no idea the different kind of ghosts would follow me here.
I expected questions, mostly those brimming with childlike curiosity, and maybe some that are a little too hard to answer. But to her credit, she just sat there, lent her ears, and looked at me with no expectation of or unnecessary judgment in her eyes. She appears wiser and older like this, easier to see the breadwinner in her. Her younger siblings are lucky to have her. When I'm done, after everything's been said, she wraps her arms around me. A bit awkward considering the gap in our age, but it gets her sentiment across. But it's difficult to answer this in kind, if I am even supposed to reciprocate the gesture given my earlier apprehension. She pulls away shortly with a smile on her face. Not the reaction I braced myself for, but it's obviously better than what I imagined.
Are you not gonna say anything?
Am I supposed to say anything after? Like, apologize or something? I don't think that's very appropriate, but if you want to hear one, I can think of something real quick.
What?
Not really.
Okay.
Other people have something to say after usually. And they're not necessarily nice either.
Yeah.
Oh, okay then. I won't. I can't think of something anyway. Sorry, I'm not very good with this. Who else knows, by the way?
Ashton.
My older sister, grandparents, and just Ash and you for now. Maybe I think I should tell Rebecca too, but...
But not right now?
Yeah, not right now. When I'm ready. Like today.
I'm sure she'll be willing to hear you out once you do.
Yeah.
I don't doubt she will. I'm more afraid of how she'll react after. One step at a time, yeah? Whew. Surprisingly, it feels good to get that one out my chest. I was a little afraid you'd be angrier. I didn't tell you earlier than today.
I'm not angry. I'm just surprised. You didn't look like it. I wouldn't have suspected.
Yep, I did not know myself before playing Zach.
I suppose that's how it often is, isn't it? We all have our... what's the word Becca uses? Inner demons?
I guess.
But this is something personal to you. I understand why you'd rather have a few people know.
That too. Well, these past few weeks haven't been easy for you. I didn't want to add that. Not after last night.
Something passes in her face, brief, fleeting, and disappears right before I can recognize what it is.
You okay?
Yep, no worries. I'll be fine. Look, about last night, never mind. This isn't a good time.
I told her my story just so that she would told her story. Damn!
But don't lose sleep over this, alright? What's important is you got what you want to say out. And if you need me, I'll be here.
So she won't tell us? I should be relieved. Her words are more than reassuring to my ears. There should be comfort in hearing those alone, in knowing I have another person to rely on if things ever go bad. But somehow I find myself worrying more for her instead. I'll make another attempt to get the story out of her if I can. But this is a dance I know all too well, and with her I doubt forcing her to say something will yield any results. As much as I want to imitate Ash, there's only so much I can ask that won't result in something a little over disastrous. At best, she'll stop talking to me until a week passes. At worst, I'd rather not risk it. I've never seen her angry. Outright annoyed, maybe and often directed at Ash, but never furious. What do they say again about the PS people when angry? Besides, it'd be unfair to her after our little chat.
So, food then?
She seems relieved at the brisk change of subject, and as if it has been simply waiting for its cue all this time. Her stomach rumbles at the mention of food, rather loudly as a matter of fact.
Alrighty, Missy. We're going to get some chow now. Better be quick though. Can't have your stomach starting a revolution on us here.
Don't make fun of me! I'm not that hungry. Maybe a little. I didn't think I'd end up skipping dinner last night.
Yeah.
And now we have one starved stomach protesting. Sorry, it'll be nothing fancy, since I'm a little low on stocks. I should probably drop by the grocery store after the meeting this afternoon.
The meeting?
I can make a quick run for you if you want.
Nah, I've got enough to put together something nice here. Maybe. I could always improvise if we're missing an ingredient or two. It ain't like we're going for a Michelin 3-star status here. Also, didn't I say you're a guest? Is this a Filipino thing? Or just Rebecca rubbing off on you?
Soft laughter that comes from her doesn't quite reach her eyes. The answer is neither. Because if she stays idle, she'll remember.
On second thought, I might need a little help slicing up the potatoes while I prep the ham. You up for that?
What? Do you think instant noodles are all I'm about? I'll have you know, I can cook a mean paella with my eyes closed. All my siblings love it.
Sure you can. Come on. I think I know what we'll do with those spare ingredients.
Despite the massive efforts to keep the mood light with small chatter, cooking ends up being a mostly quiet affair. Between us, the consistent clapping of the knives against the board and the muffled noise from the television I left running, words have become surprisingly difficult to string together. Not entirely unusual, we've had moments like this before, but definitely unnerving with how things are now. I really wish someone else would come knocking at the door. As pleasant as it is, breaking the ice or keeping conversation going has never been my forte. This has always been Isabella's or Rebecca's department, and in before, Ashton's gonna knock. Sometimes Ash, although most coming from him border on awkward or embarrassing. Speaking of the guy, he never did call back, and I'm willing to bet my entire yearly salary that he fell right back to sleep after that call. There he is! Yeah, I knew it!
Sorry, Bella, could you...
Yep, I got it. The potatoes are almost ready, by the way. I turned down the heat just in case. You might want to check on them, though.
Good.
Hold on, I'll be right there. Sheesh, wait up. If you keep rapping at the door like that, you'll break it down. Ash.
Oh, good. You're awake.
I knew it. Ash has already welcomed himself